Today we are going to understand two more classes, that is group by class and order by class. So let's open our Microsoft SQL Server, and in this, if you can see, this is the complete query that one can write. So in this, if I remove this comment part, you can see the bold letters, the blue colored letters are the keywords. So in this we have where class, which we already covered, and group by class, then having class, and order by class. So in this video today we are going to cover group by class and order by class. So if you remember, in the previous video we have created a table constrained students. So in that we have id, name, age, class, lucky number, right? So today what we are going to do is we are going to focus on the group by column. So by name itself we can understand, so it is grouping certain data based on one attribute. So if you can see, like this is our complete data, okay? And for suppose if I am segregating this based on my class, so what will I get? I will get row 1, row 2, and row 4, because it is having class as 1. Now I will get one more row which is row 3, that is a single tuple, a single record, because it is class as 3. So if I am grouping my data based on class, I'll have, after grouping is done, then I'm going to retrieve the data, right? Because if you can see, if you are writing some query, the execution will be from the rightmost to the leftmost. Okay, so when we are executing our group by query, it will move from right to left. That is, first it will group by class, and when that happens, all the records whose class is 1 will be treated as one record. Okay, and all the class with class as 3 will be treated as other record. If we have some more class, say class 6, okay, then it will be treated as a third record. Like consider we have 10 rows whose class is 6, so all those 10 records will be treated as a one single record. Now when you are doing group by, so okay, when you're doing group by, we'll have some different set of data instead of this data. So we are getting id, name, age, class, lucky number because we are writing star. Now when we are doing group by class, what all attributes we can fetch? So the basic thing that we need to remember is we should not remember anything. That is what we need to remember. Okay, so understand the flow, understand the concept. So with this, you will never be there will be no requirement of remembering anything, but you'll have a good grip on what you are learning. So if I try to, like, I'm giving a random variable, like random attribute, I'm giving id, okay? So I'll get an error. From that error we'll try to see what should we keep here instead of id. Okay, let me select this one and let me execute. So if you can see, column, this table's id is invalid in the select list because it is not a contained in either an aggregate function or the group by clause. So if you can see, what it is saying is you should either keep here class because it is there in the group by clause, or else use an aggregate function. Okay, so for suppose here I can write id comma name. So like this is a custom list that I'm getting instead of getting the all fields. So this is a custom list. I can have a column name separated by comma. So star does that internally. It will write all the column name. So here what we are getting is, instead of writing all this, we should write. Okay, let me get that error again. So you should write either column names which you are using under a group by, or write an aggregate functions. Okay, so let me give classes, and then we should give something which is using aggregate functions. So aggregate functions are nothing but average, count, min, max, sum, and etc, etc. So let's say when I uh, okay, let me do this. Okay, select star where class is equal to 1. So when I'm going to do the group by, internally it is going to fetch in this form. So here what can I do is I can add all the ages, okay, or I can get the count of this, like to see how many students are there in each class. So what can I do? I can use an aggregate function on my id. So okay, so in general, if you want to understand what does count do, so let me write here. So if you can see star means it is getting all. If I do count of star, then it is going to give me the count of records that we get when we execute the following query. Okay, that is 4. And I can also write comma separated by star. So it will, okay, just a second, it is comma. Right. So here what it is doing is invalid in the group by class. Okay. So the same thing, I should not use it again and again. I forgot to remove this. Right. So here, like instead of if I okay, let me remove this, and if I star, you see this 4, that is the number of records that we are getting in this query. So here what I'm doing is I'm having my class and count of IDs in those class, right? So if you can see, if it is this query, what it will do is it will group all of the tuples which is having class as 1, and for that it will count the number of IDs it is having, that it will print here. Okay, and then it will go to the second record which is a class as 3, because it is segregating based on class. So we'll see we have 3 tuples for class 1 and 1 tuple for class 3. Now let's execute this. So you can see, okay, so for class 1 we have 3, and for class 3 we have 1. If it is a bit of confusing, let me add one more tuple whose class is 3. Okay, statement cannot insert a duplicate. Let's see what is our current data. Okay, so we have 5. Okay, age should not be duplicate, that was one of our constraint. And then we have class 3 and lucky number as 9. Okay, now let me execute this. This is affected, and if I see the data, okay, so I should get class 1 has 3 students and class 3 has 2 students. So it will group by class and it will do some aggregation. Now if you can see, on the first column we are getting classes, on the second column we are getting the count of that ID, and this we can rename as class as strength. Okay, so now you will get class 1 and strength is 3, class 3 strength is 2. So that was a group by class, and let's have one more example for this. So as of now you can see we did the segregation based on classes. If I do the segregation based on lucky number, okay, so let's say group by lucky number. Okay, so this time I'm going to have lucky number has how many unique values? 7. All 7 will be as one record. Then 8 has one record, 9 has one record. Now all 7, this is suppose my data. In this let's do this thing. Okay, let's add all the ages. So 11 plus 12 plus 30, 30, 30, 36, and 14 and 15. Okay, that's what we want. So we'll print the lucky number, and then we are going to use one aggregate function. Now let for adding we have aggregate as min max sum. Okay, sum, and we are going to add age. So what we should this lucky number. So this time what we are expecting, group by lucky number means for all the lucky number whose number is 7, this will be treated as one record. So for lucky number 7, our age will be sum of age will be 36, and for lucky number 8 our will be age will be 14, and for lucky number 9 our age will be 15. Now let's execute this. Okay, okay, this is not strength, this is sum of age, any random name. Okay, so that was what we did so far. So in this group by we have only this much, but instead of lucky number only single column, we can also go for multiple columns. Now let's see what is order by doing. So as the name is suggesting, whatever the data that we are getting, we should order in some manner that we want. It might be sorting, ascending or descending, anything. So if I write order by, okay, so next order by column name, and here column name, let's say I have two, lucky number and sum of age. So if I write order by sum of age, of age. Now remember what all columns we can use here is, if suppose this is the list of our columns, right? So our column name that we are mentioning here should be one of this, either this one or this one. Okay, so here we are clarifying on what columns we can use in our order by. So it should be something which we are having in the select list. Select list is nothing but all the columns before from, that is this one. Now let's execute. Now here you can see we have ordered our data based on 14, 15. So this is, we can say, ascending order, right? So by default it does the ascending order, but if you want to have it in descending order, we can write a keyword descending. Now if we do, we will get first 36, then 15, then 14. Okay. Similarly, we can do this on lucky number. So why we can do it on lucky number? Because it is there in our select list. Now let's execute this. So first should become 9, then 8, then 7, because it is descending. Okay. And if I remove this, the default behavior is ascending. So 7, 8, 9. So so far we covered the where condition, group by condition, order condition. In the next video, we are going to cover having condition. Then we are good with this basic SQL query. If you have any query regarding this, you can write down in the comment section. And yeah, one more thing. So here, this is our column 1 whose name is lucky number. But instead of this, we can also write 1, 2, whatever column number we want. Okay. So yeah. So if you can see, even with lucky number, we have 7, 8, 9. And even with the column number, we have the same result. So it is mapped internally, right? That's it. If you have any query, write down in the comment section. Thank you.